What's up, guys? Alpine Gremlin again here with some more World of Tanks. Today we're going to take things down a tier or two with some lower tier action. This first game is the KV-1, a tier 5 Soviet heavy tank. We're on a hidden village, and I'm platooned up with a couple buddies of mine, Bull Tiger in his KV-1 and Shalon in his Panzer SFL, the flak bus as it's known. Now we are top tier. The KV-1 is very strong as a top tier heavy tank. It's got really good armor, but you do have to angle it, and you do have to, you do have to cover up because tanks your tier can penetrate the frontal armor. You'll notice that there's a Churchill 3 platoon, the premium Lend-Lease version of the Churchill, which was the first British-esque tank in the game. That platoon can cause me some trouble if I let them swarm me, because those little 6-pounders that they mount have a ridiculous rate of fire on them, and they can penetrate my armor, especially if they load premium ammunition. So I'm obviously taking the KV-1 to Heavy Tank Alley here on Hidden Village, and you could call this seal clubbing, the couple games I'm going to show you today, but honestly, it's not like I spend my World of Tanks career in low tier battles, so I don't see anything wrong with taking your low tiers out for some low tier shenanigans once in a while. But I'm about to make contact. I see that Stuart. I put one into him. The 85mm on the KV-1 does do a good amount of damage for its tier. So the Stuart backs off after losing all but 92 of his 240 hit points. And one of the Churchills has been spotted. And I come up, as I round this corner, I come up against the two other Churchills in this platoon. I bounced my first shot because I didn't really aim it too well. The Churchill 3's got great armor, except in the turret. So I'm going to focus on shooting him in the turret, while keeping my lower hull as covered up from this rock as possible. See, he bounces off my turret. I put another shot into his, but he does penetrate that shot, and I get splashed by Artie for some damage. Start shooting at the other Churchill, because I want to do my damage without exposing myself. Bull Tiger comes around now. I put another shot into the Churchill, but I bounce. Another Churchill gets spotted. Take him out. This other Churchill now has pushed up too far, and now that his platoon mate is dead, there's nothing to cover him from Bull Tiger and I, so I finish him off. Shoot him in the side of the turret. So two of the 3 Churchills in that platoon are dead. The other one is down there on the low road, but now we have his flank. So as soon as we come around this corner here, we're going to have shots at his rear, which is good. Put one into that Stuart as he tries to run away. Don't think so, little scout. So now we can start pounding this Churchill side. The 85mm on the KV-1 has a pretty good rate of fire for what you get for it. It's not the most accurate gun in the game. It doesn't have the best penetration number that you'll see, but it is a nice little gun, and it does some good damage. Bull Tiger gets smacked by the artillery, and Shalon is still back there covering. I believe he's in a position to cover the base, but he is only at 38 HP in a tank that has 0 armor. I haven't actually had to use any of the. You'll notice for some reason I use a large first aid and repair kit on this tank. I don't know why. It's kind of a waste, but I'll have to change that in the garage. I also load, I believe it's 25 armor-piercing rounds, 15 APCR rounds, and 15 HE rounds. So I have a good mix of ammunition type in this tank. The Covenanter is down there. The Covenanter takes Shalon out, but I'm going to get some revenge for him if I can actually hit the guy. But again, the 85mm is not that accurate at this distance. I fire, miss again, fire, miss again. T-82 gets set on fire and backs off. Now he's stopped, so I'm able to plant a good one into him. I'm also taking a bounce from the Panzer 38T. The Covenanter gets smoked by the M41 SPG. Bull Tiger's down there. He's made contact with the AMX-40. I'm going to go down here and see if I can rout this Panzer 38T out. Because he is one of the few actual tanks left alive as opposed to artillery. Both of their artillery is still in play. But, you know, they're probably focused on Bull right now because he's actually been spotted and he's taking a lot of artillery fire from that AMX-40. He doesn't quite have the gun depression to hit that AMX-40 from his position on the hill. So the Panzer 38T really scooted out of here fast. He was last spotted around here behind this rock, but he is nowhere to be found. So I figure I'm going to cover our arty. And holy shit, the Panzer 38T must have came all the way. That little guy must have come all the way through the base and around out here without me even seeing it. Again, the KV-1 does not have a good view range. It's a blind Soviet heavy tank. So I wouldn't have put it past the crew to not see that camouflaged little scout zipping by. I track him. I get tracked by artillery. I plant one into the 38T. I know I've got to keep moving because I am taking damage from arty. Panzer 38T decides to peek, and I take him out. But now we've been spotted again. We got to keep moving before the arty, as you can hear the arty shells landing. Arty is focused on us pretty hard. AMX-40 comes over the rise. I don't aim all the way in, and I miss because 85mm on the KV-1. Miss again, and I plant one into his turret for the 6 kills and the Top Gun. Alright, so here's where I got to make a decision. I brought the score back to 13-14. There's 2 enemy artillery left on the enemy team. It's just me. I can go to the base, or I can stay at my base in anticipation for them. Now, being the more aggressive kind of player that I am, I generally like to take the fight to the enemy. So I opt to go to their base and try and root out their artillery. Now, the KV-1 isn't the fastest machine in the world, and if they get on the cap circle, if both arties decide to get on the cap circle, I'm going to be in trouble. Because there's no way I can get across. I'm past the point of no return right now. I can make it back if one of them gets on the cap. That gives me 1 minute and 30 seconds. If both of them get on the cap, this game is over and we lose. So I'm taking a risk here by getting on this cap circle. Or at least by trying to cap, because it's right about here in a little bit that I realize that they have gotten on the cap. As you can see right there, alright, capser's on. I have to frickin' turn this girl around now and go all the way back in order to try and reset. Now I'm sweating bullets at this point because I don't know, because if I'm waiting for the second one to get on cap. If the second one gets on cap, this game is over. I can make it back in time with just one on cap, but not if the second arty does. Now I don't know what arty it is on the capture circle right now, but it doesn't really matter. I've got to get back. The Gorilla and the Birch gun, you know, if I figure right now, if one of them is on the cap, then the other one is probably in a position to cover that capping. So I'm just going to fast forward here a little bit because you don't want to see me. Now see, for a second there, I think that 2 of them get on the cap. Or it's just a glitch. That's just a glitch. Because there's... But, you can see now, with 97%, I spot the Gorilla with a high explosive round loaded. The birch gun comes up behind me. Put an explosive round into the birch gun. We finished the game with 8 kills and the victory. Yeah, I think when I fast forwarded my my XVM mod, kind of messed up and said there was 2 on cap because I got a little bit confused there. It was just the gorilla on cap. The birch gun was in a position from that there to cover the gorilla as he capped, but luckily both of them didn't get on cap, and I was able to carry the game and bring a victory. All right, so let's take a look at the after action report. All right, so here's the after action report, and yeah, that was seal clubbing, but you know what? I'll take a Radley Walters medal, a high caliber, a top gun, and a defender in any tank. You could see we did 2,333 damage in our tier 5 with obviously 8 kills, giving us the Radley Walters and the top gun. 1,386 experience. We fired 33 shots with 20 direct hits and 18 penetrations. So, I mean, we didn't, you know, the KV-1 Russian gun didn't exactly hit all of what it wanted to, what it wanted to do damage to, but we received 12 hits, 3 of them penetrated. Those are mostly from the Churchills, and 9 were non-penetrations. We did receive 3 splash damage hits, and only blocked 595 potential damage that actually bounced. The rest of it did penetrate. We didn't do any spotting, but we did travel a lot. So, yeah, there's that game. So let's move on to our next tank in the lineup. Alright, so here's another tank that I really, really enjoy. The StuG III, or as it's called now, the StuG III G, because there is more than one StuG in the game. The StuG is a tank that has been in my garage for a very, very long time. I have a video on my channel of me and the StuG from the first day or so that 8.0 update 8.0 released, when they first updated the graphics. But the StuG has been in my garage for an incredibly long time. I'm platooned up in this tier 5 battle on Ruinberg with Volker Ball as usual and Joby the Hutt. They're both in Volker's in his KV-220 premium Russian heavy tank, and Joby's in his AT-2. We're just tank destroyer, and I'm in my little German tank destroyer. I love this StuG. It's got really good camouflage. It's got a great rate of fire with the 75mm gun that it can mount, the L70, and it's really quick. It's really quick on its feet because it's mounted on the Panzer III. So I'm coming up here because Volker Ball is disengaging all fucks and is going on the 6th line. So I figure I'm going to go in a position to cover him. But I can't really get any good shots from here. And it doesn't seem like too many people have actually come to the town here. I feel like that Panzer, I'm trying to see if the PZSFL wants to come around the corner, but he doesn't. So instead I opt to go lower and get into a position where I can put shots on the things that Volker is spotting. I get lit as I try to cross. Not sure what it was, but I know that I got to keep moving. I'm going to come up and nail this M4 Sherman. And you can see the great rate of fire here. Allows me to make the kill. Now, I'm going to use... The StuG actually can play a bit like a medium tank because it's so quick. So I'm going to use that speed to flank this Matilda and this PZSFL that Volker is hunting down. See the PZSFL, put one into him for the kill. And he spots the Matilda. I take that out. Su-85 is spotted. I start putting fire into him through the stone fence. Take out the 85i, turn to face the Arty. Arty did track me and took me down to 140 HP, but the Panzer 1C is currently melting him. Rams him. I take him out for the kill. M3 Lee critically hits me. I fire and bounce an M3 Lee. That's weird. But my second shot doesn't. For another Top Gun. Run out to 6 kill. I take a hit. I take a hit in the back of my conning tower from the Hetzer, but it does no damage. So the second my tracks get up, I'm out of there. So he did damage my, he did take out my viewports there for a second. But now we got to find this Hetzer. And I'm getting up behind Volker to get him a push and to give myself some cover from this Hetzer as we approach. Because I don't want to take, I know that the Hetzer can penetrate me with the gun that he's using. The little 75 can get through the StuG's armor. So I'm hugging Volker here as we move up to try and spot him. I do get lit here, so now I'm starting to look around. Hetzer's up. I see him. Put 2 shots into him. Take him out for the kill. I'm stealing all of Volker's kills this game. Now I see the VK 3001H is coming through the town to get fire on that Sexton. He is 1 shot for me, so I'm going to try. I know Volker is probably not going to get there in time to intercept, but I can. So take up a position to cover that entrance. I see him coming out. Put 1 into him. There's 8 kills and a Radley Walters. There's 2 tanks left on the enemy team, and I'm at 8 kills. You know, a pools medal is something that I have never gotten before in this game. I'm never in a position to get a pools medal, and when I am, it usually doesn't happen. The kill gets stolen. But I'm determined to get this pools medal this time. That KV-1 is on 17 HP. I do have to be careful though because they can one-shot me. Volker's going to help me out here. He's going to make contact with the KV-1. KV-1 fires. I put 1 into his upper front plate. We're at 9 kills. If we can just kill that last KV-1, we're going to be in a good position. So the KV-1 was last spotted here. So we're fanning out to kind of search for him. Now Volker has the armor to take this guy on. He gets spotted. He fires at the guy in the cap. I get the hell out of there as quickly as possible to get in cover, waiting for Volker to go ahead and make contact. Fire over Volker's back, but bounce. Fire again. Track him. Set him on fire. He's burning. And there's my pools medal. Alright, so let's take a look at the after action report.